The All-Terrain Tactical Enforcer, or ATTE Walker, is a mechanized infantry combat vehicle used by the Grand Army of the Republic Ground Forces. Having 6 grappling legs and a low center of gravity, this armored walker could navigate any terrain, even climbing vertical cliffs. It appears in Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith and the Clone Wars multimedia campaign. In the event of a close assault by enemy infantry, the walker can dismount its 2 squads of troops to enter the fray and secure the immediate surroundings. The ATTE was the successor of the All-Terrain Tactical Enforcer that also saw use during the Clone Wars, although it constituted a far more imposing example of walker technology. The largest weapon was the enormous mass driver cannon. This cannon could be loaded with an array of heavy energy weapons and solid shells, depending on the specifications of the mission. The payloads of the gun could range from burrowing bunker busters to heat-seeking projectiles to sonic charges. 6 smaller laser cannons were strategically placed along the vehicle. 4 were located in a square pattern around the cockpit, while 2 more were placed in the rear to cover the flanks and help secure drop-off points for the platoons contained within the walker. These troopers were essential to the survival of the ATTE when the walker came under fire from enemy infantry units that were too small to be accurately targeted by the main cannons. Whilst its range was considerable, it had a comparatively slow rate of fire and variable accuracy. With a tow actuator, terrain sensors and a widely spread footing, the walker can endure huge blast without toppling. The ATTE measured 22.02 meters in length and 9.57 meters in height with the top speed of 60 kilometers per hour. Special sockets for the walker were created on board Acclamator-class assault ships. While any Republic spacecraft could transport these walkers through space, a variant of the gunship had to be used to ferry these vehicles down to battlefields. Let's take a closer look inside the All-Terrain Tactical Enforcer. 7 specially trained crew members were needed in order for the vehicle to function properly. The pilot, who was normally the ATTE commander, worked the 6 legs of the walker, while a spotter who sat above the pilot utilized several sensor stations to ascertain the locations of hostile units and primary objectives. A top door allowed a soldier to observe the battlefield from the top of the walker. The spotter then had to relay this information to the 4 gunners nestled at gun stations within the heavily armored hull of the walker. A final crew member had to sit behind the controls of the heavy cannon atop the ATTE, partially exposed to enemy fire. 10 clone trooper passengers could be held in each section of the walker, 10 in the front and 10 in the back. In addition, an IM-6 battlefield medical droid was located in the back of the ATTE for emergency medical treatment. The walker was impervious to ion damage due to built-in electromagnetic shielding. At an average speed of 60 km per hour, this pace allowed it to penetrate energy shields. Regardless of its heavy armor, the ATTE was not invulnerable. Due to weak points in the underbelly of the vehicle, a single direct hit by a rocket from a Hailfire droid was capable of disabling an ATTE, and they were also highly vulnerable to air attacks. Its high silhouette made it easier to target by enemies. One of the more obvious design flaws was that it was low to the ground, so the turret gunner's protection of the vulnerable underside was limited. The ATTE was a multi-purpose assault vehicle capable of tasks ranging from the transportation of clone trooper platoons around a battlefield to full-scale attacks upon enemy installations. The vehicle performed most admirably in support roles that involved providing immediate cover fire for battalions of soldiers. ATTE were often deployed in large numbers to overwhelm the enemy through sheer volume of firepower. Unlike its successor, the ATTE isn't depicted as being anywhere near as unstoppable. During their first appearance, it was shown they could be destroyed by a single shot from a heavily armed CIS vehicle. The walkers served in countless battles across the galaxy and eventually became part of the Imperial Army after the transformation of the Republic into the Galactic Empire. The ATTE was a precursor to the Empire's all-terrain armored transport. Thanks for watching. If you have any suggestions or requests, leave your comments below. Like and subscribe for more upcoming animations.